What's going on, y'all? I am back once again, and today we're going to be checking out the top 10 best open top vehicles in Greenville. And just keep in mind, this is mostly my opinion, but these are, I feel like a lot of people can agree that these are the best in the game. So yeah, without further ado, let's head into the video. But before that, I have a quick announcement. I will be posting more diverse content like I promised. I know I've been posting a lot of Greenville content, but I've just been dealing with graduation, of course, and just trying to get monetized and set up for YouTube so I can start getting paid. So yeah, more diverse content will come on the way. But yeah, enjoy the Greenville uploads. If you're new around here, make sure to check out my older uploads on Greenville and other games as well, if you please. And yeah, we're all on the road to 2,500 subscribers before August of 2025, but I feel like we can get there sooner. So if you don't mind, make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button, and I greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So as usual, we are going to be starting from the oldest cars and make our way up to the newer cars. And yeah, I did try to put these in a relatively reasonable budget. A lot of cars, or not a lot of cars, some cars may be like worth a lot and pretty spendy, which is only about like 2 cars, but I try to keep it underneath at least 40k 50k, just within everybody's budget. So yeah, and the first car on the list is going to be the 1990 Yugo Coral, aka the 1990 Yugo GV. So the trim that I'm going to be suggesting is the GVC, of course, the convertible. And if you don't know what the Yugo is, it's pretty much a failed 90s economy car from Yugoslavia, of course, hence the name Yugo in real life. It is 12k, which is a bit spendy for a car like this. Only 65 horsepower, not 82 horsepower. It is enough, but it, you know, it's pretty spendy. 27 miles per gallon is kind of whatever. Just a regular 90s economy car that is pretty uncommon. You like never see these around. I'll check it out right here. If you're curious about the Yugo in real life, I recommend watching Doug's video on it. It's actually a pretty interesting car with an interesting story. The interior is not the best. I mean, it is alright. You can kind of see through the car right there. And yeah, you can see like the fenders chipping in as well. Like, you know, it is the 90s, but it's just not good. You do have low beams right there, and they are kind of textured a little bit, which is pretty cool. You also get high beams, and you get fog lights right here with this trim. It is pretty nice, and it is actually not as slow as you think, at least in sport mode. In a regular cruise mode, of course, it's going to be slow, but it's actually not too bad, and you are going to get places. It is super light, so I feel like you could easily use this for GVRP or any RP groups that you're in. It is going to be a little sluggish, so you might hold up traffic, but it's just a cute little economy car that you don't see much, and it's pretty cool. It's becoming cool. So yeah, I do recommend trying it out. That's going to be it for the first car, the Yugo, and let's move on to the second car. Alrighty, moving on to the second car on the list. You may actually recognize this car if you have seen my previous car videos on Greenville, specifically my underrated car series, and that car is going to be the 2002 Chrysler Puma, aka the 2002 Plymouth Prowler. So you probably seen this car or heard about it at least. Yeah, it's a pretty wacky car, pretty much a hot rod inspired vehicle with the V6 inside. Unfortunately, no V8, and it does pick up pretty quick, and it doesn't require any game pass, which is pretty nice. It does come in 2 trims. You can get the hard top or the soft top. There's no like performance difference or anything. It's just purely aesthetics. But yeah, I do recommend the hard top just because it looks better with the rest of the body, in my humble opinion. And if you have premium, then you can change the top color, and it's 28k. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable deal for a pretty wacky, quirky car that isn't too bad on performance. So here is mine right here. I did lower mine quite a bit, and I changed the front plate. I have a rare blank license plate, some pretty cool rims, and dual exhaust, which is pretty sweet. You also get low beams right here. You do get updated lights all the way around, and it's pretty sweet. No high beams or anything, but yeah. And here is the acceleration, or just like, you know, for how fast it is, it's not too bad actually. You could race around with these, and there's like a little crackle when you let off the accelerator, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, it has some muscle in it, which is nice. And here's how it looks with the top down. Here's the interior. It's a pretty cool interior. I do really like the center, how it's kind of paint matched with the rest of the outside of the car. And yeah, quality isn't bad at all. Really nice, and you get some cool dash lights right there, and it has a lot of potential to look pretty good, and it can stand out in traffic, so why not do it with no game pass? So that's going to be the second car, the Plymouth Prowler. And yeah, let's move on to the next car on the list. Moving on to the next car on the list, we got the 2004 Ferdinand Roadster, aka the 2004 Porsche Boxster. So if you also have been sticking around for quite a while and you've seen my previous underrated car videos, you also might recognize this car, and it is really sweet. That's why I featured it on this list as well. And yeah, and what's the coolest part about it is that it's a Porsche that requires no Game Pass. The top trim, the 550 anniversary edition, does require the luxury one, but the 3.2 and the 2.7, oh no, the 3.2 also requires one. That's my bad, I kind of lied. But the base one doesn't require any Game Pass, and it looks pretty sweet, pretty convincing and such. Here is mine right here. I did lower mine quite a bit. I think the stock ride height is just too high, so yeah, it can look super sweet when it's a bit lowered. And this is the top trim, but the base trim is gonna look just as good. And yeah, it has a pretty sweet startup and a pretty sweet sound. Here's how it looks with the top down and the lights on right there. Not the best in terms of interior lighting. It's kind of lazy. They just put kind of some blocks right there, but it's not too bad. I do really like the interior. I think it's pretty nice looking. It has updated lights all around, and it has fog lights included and high beams, of course. So yeah, it's just a really nice car for what you're getting. And even the base model is pretty much all going to be the same for the base model. It just has slightly different lights and interior, but it is super sweet. And if you have the premium Game Pass, you can customize the full interior and the soft top, so it's pretty nice. It is really quick too, and it has an active air spoiler, at least on this trim. I'm not too sure about the base trim, but yeah, it gets up there pretty quick. So I'd say it's kind of like a poor man's Cayman or a poor man's 911, you could say, or I don't know, it's just a fancier Miata, whatever you want to call it. Probably one of my favorites on the list just because of how accessible it is. So yeah, let's move on to the next car. Alright, moving on to the next open top car on the list, we got the 2008 Wolvesburg New Classic, aka the 2003 Wolvesburg New Classic, which is pretty much the same car, just slightly different headlights and such. Yeah, right here. So this, the 2003, it's pretty much the same as the 2008, but yeah, there's some slight visual changes, and it's probably a bit cheaper, but I am going to be checking out the 2008. So on the 2008, we only have two convertible trims. This one also does have body paint on the inside, but I think I got the SE, I'm pretty sure. You do get like a little cute flower inside. You have a really nice interior, to be honest. I mean, at least for Greenville, in real life this is an okay interior, but I do like it. It's pretty charming and inviting, and it does have slightly different lights like I mentioned earlier. It has fog lights and everything. Just a pretty nice car, a nice daily driver. And here's mine right here. If you have the premium Game Pass, you can color the top and some of the interior. For some reason, the door panels, the side panels right here, and the floor do not change color. I'm pretty sure that's just a bug. But yeah, here's all the lights, updated lights all around, of course. On this trim I got fog lights, so yeah, it's pretty sweet, and just a nice retro car, or a neoclassic car I guess you could say, to just drive around, and it's pretty sweet. Decent fuel economy. You could definitely use it in like GVRP and such, especially if you're a lady. I feel like most ladies are gonna like this car, but I'm a guy, so I like this car, so it's for anybody. Not much to say about this car. It's just a cute little commuter. So yeah, let's move on to the next car in the video. Moving on to the next car on the list. This is one of the spendier cars I was talking about, and it's going to be the 2015 Belco 66, aka the 2015 Shelby Cobra, or I guess technically the 67 Cobra, but it is called the replica V4 because this is like a replica of an original 67 Shelby. I don't know why they didn't just put the regular 67 Shelby in the game, but it's whatever. I guess it's just too costly and whatnot. But here it is right here. Don't worry about this goofy top. It is removable, of course. I always drive it around with the top down. I do not like how it looks with the top up, but it is a pretty old model, so it is going to have like decal lights, and it's not going to look too good when the lights are on, but it is an okay model. The inside though, like it has a alright interior, but the steering wheel is pretty much like a pentagon or something. But here is mine right here, and what's really cool is that if you have the premium Game Pass, you can change the color of the stripes, which is pretty nice. So here's the backfire. pretty sweet. I guess I could have put this in the backfire video, but it's all good. I put some aftermarket rims on it and lowered it. And here are the decal lights. They just do not look good. Those are pretty ugly. Yikes, I'll turn those off to save your eyes. But yeah, the interior overall isn't too bad. There are no, oh yeah, there are interior lights, I lied. So they're the interior lights. Not too bad. I mean, if you don't mind decal lights, you could easily get over it. It has some nice redeeming qualities. Yeah, it is really nice to drive. It has a cool V8 sound. Yeah, it is really heavy, so it's gonna understeer a bit if you ever want to toss this around. But yeah, it's just a really fun car to drive. And 130k, it is pretty pricey, but I mean, hey, for an American 60s convertible car, I'd say that it's pretty worth it. So yeah, that's gonna be one of the more spendier entries on the list. And with that being said, let's move on to the next one. And since we're halfway through the video, just a quick reminder, we are on the road to 2,500 subs, so I would appreciate it. It is one of my dreams to become a big YouTuber, so hopefully I can gain more traction, and a sub is free and will help. Oh, and also let me know down in the comments which car is your favorite on this whole list, and which ones should I have put in the list that are missing. Let me know. So yeah, let's get back to the video. Alrighty, the next convertible on the list is going to be the 2017 Tony Ciento, aka the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider, aka the Fiata. So this car is pretty unique. It's pretty much an Italian Miata, and what's sweet is that none of the trims require any Game Pass, even the top trim, which is right here, the Carrera manual. And here it is right here. If you have the premium Game Pass, you can change up the interior. And here's what it looks like with the lights on. Pretty nice. They put some good effort into the interior, and yeah, it does have updated lights all around, fog lights and such, high beams, you name it, it has it. And yeah, so again, it is going to be pretty fun. It's a turbocharged 4-cylinder, and it's gonna get you around nice and quickly. Pretty nimble handling, but a little I guess like heavier at the same time, so you get some good steering feel. It does kind of understeer a bit, but yeah, you can race this around, role play, do whatever. It's a sweet car. Not much else to be said, so let's move on to the next one. So the next car is going to be a fan favorite, and it's also going to end up on the thumbnail, and that's going to be the 2019 Durant Manta, aka the 2019 Chevy Corvette C7. So I got the base model right here just to keep it simple, but there are a lot of trims, but they do all have a removable top, aka a Targa, which is just like removing the center part of the cabin and not the full thing. So that is pretty sick. The base they do all require the sports passes though, unfortunately. Maybe some even the luxury pass. Here is mine right here. I did lower mine a bit, got rid of the front plate and changed up the rims, and I did this really sweet color. And here is the interior on mine. I have the premium Game Pass, so you can change a lot of stuff inside the cabin. I did this kind of like nice tan color on the seats and on the rest of the cabin, and yeah, it is just really sweet. Here's what it looks like when it's all started up, and here's what it looks like with the lights on. And you can even see on the dashboard there's like a little kind of like light symbol that lights up, and if you put on your high beams, it also does that, so you can flash your high beams and it will appear on the dash, which is pretty sick. But I do wish they had working gauges. I'm really surprised that they don't. But yeah, anyways, it doesn't have backfire, unfortunately, for the base models, or even the high trims. I don't think the high trims have backfire either, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it is a fictional car, so it is really sweet. They cooked a lot. This is probably my favorite car in terms of the fictional cars. Besides the rear, I don't like the rear too much. I don't know what it is. I feel like the taillights are too small or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it has fog lights and everything. With all that being said, let's move on to the next entry on the list. Alrighty, moving on to the next car on the list. It is going to be another fictional car, but one that you'd never see, and that's going to be the 2021 Western Sergio convertible. So like the base trim especially was so popular, and I think it's even on the list for like the most cars bought in the dealership. The base trim is super popular. You don't really see them a lot too much anymore. I know when V4 first came out, you definitely saw them a lot, but I feel like you don't really see them much anymore, especially the higher trims, which is pretty unfortunate, because it's a really cool car. It starts out at 35k, has 260 horsepower, 130 miles an hour. Not really a sports car on the base trim, kind of more of a kind of toned down commuter car with a pretty bare bones interior. It's nothing too great, but the trim that I would definitely recommend is going to be the XR, which does require the luxury pass, and there's also the R, which also requires the luxury pass. A similar car like this is the same Sergio, but it is the hardtop in one of my other videos, so I definitely recommend checking it out. And it also has backfire, which is pretty sweet. It sounds really good too. It's like a supercharged V8, so it's going to sound sweet. And you have manual, so you do get backfire right there. And it also has updated lights, I forgot to mention. So you got fog lights and high beams and all that. So yeah, it's a pretty unique car. I definitely recommend it. And let's move on to some of the final cars on the list. Moving on to one of the final cars on the list, and that's going to be the 2022 Mazda Laguna, aka the 2022 Mazda MX-5 Miata. And I don't know why I pronounced that name like it's Spanish. That was kind of silly of me. The only reason I didn't include the NA Miata is just because it's frankly pretty overrated in my opinion, and the model isn't too great. And you just like see them a lot for a convertible. It's one of the first cars that you think of, so that's the only reason I didn't put it on the list. I put this on the list just because you never see it, and I feel like it's really underrated and not really appreciated that much. It's a fun, affordable sports car in the modern era, so I think it's really sweet. And same with the Fiat 124, the car we saw earlier. So yeah, starts at 27k for the base model. Yeah, it doesn't look like they require a game pass at all, which is pretty sweet. And it's a really good model, so it's gonna have a nice interior, as you can see right there. And just like with a lot of the other cars, you can change the interior color with the premium game pass. So yeah, here's how it looks with the top down, and here's how it looks with the lights on. Pretty much the same as the Fiat 124. Updated lights everywhere, fog lights and such, or it doesn't have fog lights, my bad. But yeah, updated lights everywhere, and it's really sweet. And if you customize it, it can also look really sick and pretty sporty, and it's awesome. And you kind of stick out a bit if your character's fat like me. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the MX-5 Miata, and let's check out the last car on the list. Alright, moving on to the final car on the list. As you can probably see right in front of you, that's going to be the 2024 Falcon Stallion, aka the 2024 Ford Mustang. You can't get the EcoBoost convertible right here, which I don't completely recommend, not only because it's an inline four, but it's just not really the best. It's not the best looking. I don't like how the lower trims look, but that's just me. But it is a convertible, so I recommend it nonetheless. Any of the trims are just super sweet looking. They don't look good when they're up, of course, like with a lot of convertibles, but they look so nice when they're down, and they look a lot like the 60s Mustangs, which is really sweet. And it does go up to 65k, which is pretty spendy. I guess the V8 could sound better. I don't like how the Mustang V8 sound personally, but it is, you know, it's cool nonetheless. You can't really deduct it in points because of that. So it's gonna be fun to drive around, and it has kind of a heavier steering feel, which is gonna be nice for commuting and such, especially in the EcoBoost, the more kind of economy trim. So yeah, that's gonna be the last car on the list, the 2024 Ford Mustang. And yeah, let me know down in the comments which car was your guys' favorite and which ones I should have put in the list. With that being said, that's gonna wrap it up. So that's gonna do it for this video. Again, let me know what cars I should have put on the list that weren't on the list, and yeah, just let me know what you guys' favorite car was as well. I'd be happy to hear. I always reply and acknowledge comments. I'd greatly appreciate it, and it helps my algorithm a lot. It's free, and I get to know you a bit better. So yeah, I will be posting more diverse content as I promised, but I do highly recommend to check out my older Greenville videos if you are new around here, and just my channel in general. So yeah, we are on the road to 2,500 subs before August, but I feel like we can get there during July and eventually to 5k and whatnot. And yeah, hope you guys are having a great night, great day, great week, year, month, whatever it may be. And yeah, with all that being said, that's all I got for y'all. I'll catch you later.